is what key life experiences have formed who you are today?
Say two things. First one is my military service experiences, and then the second one is my PhD. Both military, I made an agreement that Korean Army will pick up a bunch of soldiers and then send it to the US Army in Korea, stationed in Korea, and then US Army will train them just like US soldiers. So in case of emergency, they're going to fight together.
Mm.
So I was one of them. And so that's where I learned English. So because I learned English in a very like a survival mode, so that after I came back to university to finish my degree, then I was using it to write our journal papers in the international journals. And then I was able to present my work in a conferences. So during that PhD, I was able to develop myself for this academic career. So that those two experiences that formed me today.
So, how did you become passionate and involved in our city of Phoenix?
So when you see a professor as a job, then, like you gotta search for where's the position and then what company, in this case, university. So if you like this company, then you apply for that company. For specific major, like specific position, like in architecture, we have an architect who mainly focus on the design, but also we have some faculties who focus on the history. We have some faculties like me focus on the building technology. So if you're just looking for a building technology faculty position in architecture in US, only you have like 20, sometimes 30 or even less position per year in the entire nation. So sometimes you just don't have a chance. If you got a job, you just got to go. And then I learned about this ASU, and then I joined, and then luckily I got the job. So that's why I came
What are
here.
your core values and how do they reflect in your work?
Positive and diligent attitude when it comes to the work. Yeah. So just naturally just be positive for any responses. And then even if you have a really bad day or bad outcomes, then still you get something from it and then just move on. Then also another thing is the diligence, like especially for the fact, well, I mean, probably most of the job requires a certain level of diligentness. And then, so one of my supervisor for my PhD, when I was doing my PhD, one of the senior faculty, he gave me this advice that if you want to have a PhD, then you have to have a heavy butt. Meaning that you have to sit on your desk like a really long time so that will give you some outcomes and results.
Question 4, why is our city a great city?
Well, I really enjoy the nature.
Mm.
I'm not a big fan of cold. And then before I was in Michigan for 2.5 years. So yeah, I am really enjoying this warm and nice weather. I don't need to shovel anymore, so which is a great benefit.
What cases or projects and activities are you involved in, and why are you involved in them?
So the research project that I am conducting right now it's called a human building integration. So how human can be interactive inside the building. My interest is how can those things can be integrated to each other. That I install a bunch of sensors so that which can measure your skin temperature or which can measure your pupil sizes. So imagine yourself that you walk into the room and then pre-install the sensor, take a thermographic shot of your face so that it can measure your forehead skin temperature. And then it can measure your pupil size, which is responding to the lighting intensity. So once you walk in, before you pick up remote or before you yelling Alexa, then your room will assess your status.
How do you collaborate with other groups and individuals? And how do you know that your work is impactful?
For example, right now, one of my collaborator is the faculty of electrical engineering. And then the other faculty is from computer science. When I suggest to other domain faculty, for example, or collaborators or the industry that, hey, I'm thinking about this idea, what do you think? And then if their response is positive, then means that my idea or collaborating project can be impactful. Then
what other creators who are focused on the similar causes or projects and activities that you're doing right now have kind of influenced?
I have two mentors, those two. Faculty, the supervisors for my postdoc research, those were my mentors who influenced me a lot.
What would you recommend I do to become a great creator of our city today?
So it is important to know what you're interested in right now, but also it is important not to block some other opportunities or out.